Hello everybody and welcome to Cringeworthy Studios. So today I have a Terraria tier list where I'm ranking all of the 1.4 Master Mode bosses by rank. So S tier, obviously I hate it, it's time to cheat, not dealing with that shit. A tier, really don't want to fight it. B, it's kind of hard but I can deal with it. C, I have to have my hands on the keyboard to beat it. And D, it's kind of like I look away and it's pretty dead. So yeah, let's start with bosses in the order you first can meet them. So first of all, my boy King Slime. Oh, and just a disclaimer: some of the bosses I won't actually be able to rank. Like I think that's Betsy there, and three of the bosses I won't be able to rank because I never actually fought them. I've never done the Old Wars Army, at least not in 1.4. Anyway, let's go. So, King Slime. It's kind of like, in Master Mode, in non-Master Mode, it's dead already. But in Master Mode, it depends on, because I usually play multiplayer, so it can get a decent amount of health, but I think it's kind of like, it's pretty dead. I think, yeah, it's dead. Aya Cthulhu. Now, in Master Mode, it can actually, I found personally it can get quite hard, especially once it gets up to its third stage dashing attack. By the constant dashes, it can get quite annoying. Without nurse spamming, it can usually, I think it's hard. It's not too bad, but I can't really do it without concentrating. Especially with, and by the way, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking with the gear you have when you first encounter the boss. So, for example, the mechanicals, it'll be immediate, like early hard mode gear, so like mithril, titanium, cobalt, palladium, that kind of thing. Like low level pre-hard early hard mode metals. Anyway, then next we have Eater of Worlds. I mean, even in Master Mode, he's still pretty fucking easy. He's, I don't know if he's quite, it's dead already, but I don't have much trouble with him personally. I think it's probably one of the easiest. Maybe in front of King Slime. No, I think it's easier than King Slime. Especially if you grenade it or have a flail even. Something that pierces is really legendary against him. But yeah, he's not too hard. Queen Bee. Definitely hard, but okay. Easier than the Cthulhu, I think. But if you got a Bezoar, it's easier. If you don't have a Bezoar, it's harder. Assuming you fight it straight away, it could even be up here. But if you fight it, say after you've done Eater of Worlds, once you get Shadow, or after you've done Brain of Cthulhu, after going to Crintain, it's definitely kind of this area, especially if you got a Bezoar. Even with the Bezoar, it might even be like below Cthulhu. Yeah, I think I'll put it here. Let's assume you have a Bezoar. If not, it's here. Alright. Next one, Brain of Cthulhu. Now, I personally find this one quite easy, especially on especially if I've got the high end of the gear you can get pre-Brain of Cthulhu. For example, if I've got a even the Flaming Mace is pretty good against him. Or especially if you get something like the, even, I'm trying to think, what would be the probably easiest weapon to take him out with? Even some of the summoning weapons. Yes, I'd say here. I need my hands on the keyboard, but not quite hard. Anyway, next one. So, Skeletron is next. Now, Skeletron is a weird one because if you have an arena set up, he can be fairly easy. But if you don't have an arena, he can get harder, especially once the homing skulls start coming out and you're jumping around. It depends on the accessories you have, I guess. I think he would be the top of either the top of D or the bottom of C. I'm just thinking. If you got an arena, he's here. If you don't have an arena, he's here. I think it's around here. Anyway, next one, I'm trying to see if there's anything I've missed from, I don't even know what that one is. from? Oh, is that the, I think that's the Shadow Flame Goblin. Whatever his name is. Seeing what's next. Okay. So next thing is the Wall of Flesh. So, personally in Master Mode, I find the Wall of Flesh incredibly annoying to deal with. Especially once you get towards the end and he starts speeding up. If you watch my Terraria playthrough, where I did a multiplayer playthrough, for at least most of the playthrough, the Wall of Flesh was the boss we probably had the most trouble with. We died, I think, 7 times, something like 6 or 7 times, just because he started speeding up and had like maybe 1,000, 2,000 health left. He's even worse in multiplayer. So I would say, honestly, at that time, I really don't want to fight it. I just don't. Unless you have a minecart track set up, he's just a pain. The lasers as well get quite annoying. B-nades is an efficient way of doing it, but in multiplayer, his health is ridiculous, so even B-nades don't work that well. Alright. So next one would be Queen Slime, I guess. Queen Slime, personally, I find it's ridiculously easy. No, well, actually, not ridiculously, but decently easy. Actually, no, I'll do the other one. Actually, I'll do English. I'll do Queen Slime first. So, Queen Slime isn't ridiculously hard, but isn't super easy, but it's not hard. Dodge in a circle and shoot it. If you got some sort of arena set up, it's pretty meh. I would say kind of around the bottom of hands on keyboard. Actually, it's above the Brain of Cthulhu. That's only because you do need to move a little bit, and it can occasionally kill you if you get a few of the gelatinous balls in a row. The next one after that would definitely be the Destroyer. The Destroyer, honestly, especially once it got the health buff, and I think a couple of minor stat buffs in 1.4, it is a pain. Even if you have a really tall arena, then you start worrying about harpies and wyverns. It's not a fun boss, to be honest. I don't like it anymore. It used to be a pushover, but now, especially since the Daedalus Stormbear's got nerfed, I don't think it's I don't think it's that easy anymore. So I would say I'd say it's harder than Queen Slime. Is it harder than Queen Bee? I would say it's easier than Queen Bee for the time, especially if you've got some. I mean, if you've got the Daedalus Stormbow, you can still kill it. It's just a pain. Holy Arrows work quite well with it. I don't know if you can get Holy Arrows at that point in the game. I think you can. But yeah, I'd say it's easier than Queen Bee for that stage of the game. Now, next, the twins. Once you've got the Gelatinous Pillion from Queen Slime, the twins are basic. Jump around in circles, don't kill Spasmatism first, get rid of that flames, and then take Rednesses out. I would say, because you can just circle it with one platform in the sky, especially with the Gelatinous Pillion, I would say it's a bit harder than the Brain of Cthulhu, but not quite hard enough to be harder than Queen Slime. This is if you got the Gelatinous Pillion. If not, it's probably up here. The stats aren't too insane. Flying Knife can do okay. Usually I just use a Spider Staff at that point. Or even, I mean, I've killed it using Imp Staff in Master Mode, which was stupid. Took me like half an hour. I think I froze the Knight for that one, but I was just seeing if I could do it. I think I killed it with the Finish Staff at one point. I was experimenting with summoning on my own world. Anyway, the Skeletron Prime. Okay, so he is a pain in the ass in my opinion. Especially with a lot of spam, because it tends to, like, I tend to find I get hit by random things if I'm not paying attention. So you need your hands on the keyboard, definitely. I'd say he's hard, but okay. I'd say he's probably slightly harder than Queen Bee. Okay. Next would be... What's after? Okay, so you got Plantera next, I think. Check if any of the bosses can happen. Pirate Invasion can. I think that's... No, I don't even know what that one is. I don't know what that one is. Okay, the Pirate Invasion, Flying Dutchman. If you've got a living tree, like a giant tree, it's easy. Just get a trap against the side of a house or something and shoot. Deal a Stormbow, that kind of thing. If you're doing it when you first can get the Pirate Invasion, it can be a bit harder. But I would say easier than Skeletron, probably harder than King Slime. Probably easier than King Slime. Alright. Then, okay, I can't do the Ogre because I've never actually fought it properly. I don't even know what that's meant to be. Okay. Just thinking what's next. Okay. Plantera. I hate it. Hate it. Just I hate it. Plantera is one of my least favorite bosses, just because, she is, like, in Master Mode especially, her first form, fine, you can dodge it. Her second form is fucked. It's so annoying. But, I guess depending on what else goes up on the top, I might move that down to here. But, and Enraged Plantera is, like, just somewhere up around here. Let's see. Once you've done Plantera, I mean, like, Plantera is just stupid. It took me 7 tries, to get her with other players to do the respawning. Even Nurse spamming doesn't help. She's just annoying. Spiky balls, what are they called? Spiky balls? They're annoying as well. Okay, next would be Golem. I don't want to do my boy Golem dirty like that, but he's harder than... No, he's... If you fight him in the temple, and you get a bad temple layout, he can be actually decently hard. If you get a good temple layout, though, he's kind of just a bit like, yeah. I've died a few times to him, actually, in 1.4, just in Master Mode, just because he has annoying amounts of health. Especially with suboptimal weapons. So, I don't know if he's harder than King Slime, but I don't think so. Next, I would say... Sorry about that. Next, you start getting some more events. Martian Madness. The Martian Saucer, I don't like it, but it's not exactly hard. I would say it's harder than the Brain. No, probably easier than the Brain, but it's not quite... It's dead already. Okay, who's next? I guess you can get... I've never fought the Blood... Oh, when I fought the Blood Monster one time. I don't know enough about it to make a proper decision, but I would say, like, from when I fought it, it was... Because I fought it way too late. Like, after I'd got way past that gear level. I'd say it's kind of hard, but okay. It's annoying, it has a decent amount of health. But it's not exactly... powerhouse. Okay, next. Okay, we'll do the events after. But, Empress of Light. If, like, she is truly, as Senex said, a bullet hell boss. She is quite painful, but if you got a, even a decent wings, like some of the higher level wings you can get at the time, she's not too bad. I would say she's definitely easier than the Wall of Flesh at the time. This is the nighttime one, by the way. The nighttime one's easier than the Wall of Flesh, I'd say, but definitely harder than Eye and Prime. So, I would say she's definitely the bottom of the I don't really want to fight it category. If it's daytime, I'll use this one for daytime. Daytime Empress of Light is just... No. Unless you got the Zenith, which is way past her tier, obviously. If you got the Zenith, it's... You can do it. But it's just not fun, to be honest. I'll put that actually out. But Daytime Empress is top S tier. It's the worst. There's no Dungeon Guardian in here, shit. Damn it. Okay, so next, Duke. If you can get his patterns right, he can be okay. But he's definitely not that easy. I'd say Duke is probably bottom of here kind of area. Okay. Moonlord I'll leave till in a second. I sort of did Lano Colders and Pillars first. Okay. So... Pumpkin Moon. Morningwood, if you can get high up or low down, if you can shoot it without getting hit, it's okay. Probably about here, I'd say. You need your hands on the keyboard for it. Pumpkin. Not the hardest thing ever. I don't like fighting him, especially when there's 4 or 5 of them at once. But I would say it's probably about here. I'd say it's a bit easier than the Destroy if there's only one. But if there's 4 or 5 of them, it starts edging up to about here. Okay. Everscream. I don't mind fighting it. It's probably harder than the Martian Saucer. I would say it's harder than the Morningwood. Okay. Santa NK... I don't know, NK42? I think it is, M41? MK, whatever. I hate fighting him. He's not the worst ever, but he's just annoying. Probably harder than the Stray East than Queen Bee, I'd say. Just he tends to be annoying, especially once you got a couple other bosses around the same time from the Frost Moon. Okay. Ice Cream. Hate it. I honestly hate it. Only because the first... Okay, so I remember... This is 1.3, so this is not really relevant to this tier list. But the first time I ever fought... Oh, no, it was 1.2, actually. 1.2, 1.3. One of the two. First time I ever fought the Moon Lord. Just after the Moon Lord had come out. I was struggling. I was dying so many times. And I ended up having to try and do the Frost Moon to get the Snowman Cannon. Which, at the time, as everyone probably knows, it was ridiculously OP. I died to that Frost freaking Queen so many goddamn times. And I eventually had to cheat in the Snowman Cannon just so I could beat the Moon Lord for the first time. After that I managed to do it legit, but the first time, it was the worst. The Frost Queen, though, probably I really don't want to fight it, but it's not quite cheating time level. But it's annoying. Like, I can usually... At first I could only kill... Like, with really low level gear, I could only kill 1 or 2 of them per Frost Moon. If I've got Pumpkin Moon level gear, I can usually kill maybe 4 or 5. Wave 15 is only after I got a lucky drop from her anyway. Okay, next. Lunatic Cultist. I'm just gonna think, where would I put the Lunatic Cultist? He's not hard, but he's definitely not as much of a pushover as some of the other ones. I think he's probably harder than Golem. Probably harder than King Slime. I think he's the bottom of the It's Dead Already tier. Like, he's annoying to fight, sure, but he's not terrible. And he's definitely not that hard. Okay. Next, the Pillars. Solar Pillar. I hate it. Honestly, I hate it so much. Especially the goddamn worms. Whatever, the flying space worms. Some worms, whatever. They're just annoying. They're painful, annoying. I don't like them. But I guess you can technically beat it. It's not the worst thing ever. But it's bad. Okay. That would be the Stardust, I think. Yes, that's the Stardust. Stardust. Yeah, I think it's probably harder than Queen Slime for the time, because you got what, post Golem, post Fishron kind of gear. You got high level post Fishron gear if you're really farming. I'd say it's here. Okay. Vortex. God damn it. No, I hate the Vortex. Is that the Vortex or is that the Nebula? No, it's the Nebula. Never mind. Nebula, I'd say harder than Pumpkin, but not quite as hard as... Definitely not as hard as Solar. Not quite as hard... Nebula or Vortex is the question. Nebula's annoying. Vortex is probably... Is it easier or worse than the Nebula? I would say, personally, I find the Nebula more irritating, but not by much. I'll just say that. Okay, and last of all, the Moon Lord. And I hate it. Especially Master Mode. It is the worst. Other than Daytime Empress. But even then, I would rather fight the Daytime Empress. Yeah, I'd say that. And I don't know these three. I've never actually... can't even tell what that one is. That is... I can't tell what that one is. But I think that's Betsy and that's the Ogre. I don't... If that's the Goblin Summoner? The Goblin Summoner would probably be around here. But I don't know exactly what it is. So I'm just going to leave it out here. Am I going brain dead? Have I forgotten exactly what it is? What is that? I don't know. I don't actually know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.